In pharmaceutical regulatory affairs, not all critical information is submitted directly within a drug application. Some of the most sensitive and proprietary details, especially related to manufacturing, are submitted separately through a system known as the Drug Master File or DMF. A DMF is a confidential document submitted to the US Food and Drug Administration that contains detailed information about facilities, processes, materials, or components used in the manufacturing of a drug product. The purpose of a DMF is simple: to allow manufacturers to protect confidential information while still enabling regulators to review it. Instead of sharing proprietary data directly with every applicant, the DMF holder submits it once to the regulatory authority. Then, multiple applicants can reference that DMF in their own submissions using a letter of authorization or LOA. Now, let's understand the different types of DMFs. The FDA classifies DMFs into 5 main categories, Type 1 through Type 5. Type 1 DMF includes information about manufacturing sites, facilities, operating procedures, and personnel. However, this type is no longer actively used by the FDA for new submissions, as much of this information is now covered elsewhere. Type 2 DMF is the most commonly used category. It contains detailed information about drug substances, intermediates, and sometimes drug products. This includes manufacturing processes, controls, specifications, and stability data. For example, an active pharmaceutical ingredient manufacturer would typically file a Type 2 DMF. Type 3 DMF focuses on packaging materials. This includes bottles, closures, caps, and containers that come into direct contact with the drug product. Type 4 DMF covers excipients, colorants, flavors, and other additives used in drug formulation. Type 5 DMF is a flexible category used for reference information not covered under Types 1 to 4. This may include novel technologies or specialized manufacturing data. Now that we understand the types, let's move to one of the most important concepts in DMF management: the open part and the closed part. A DMF is typically divided into 2 sections to balance transparency and confidentiality. The open part, also known as the applicant's part, contains non-confidential information. This is shared with the pharmaceutical company that is referencing the DMF. It includes general descriptions, specifications, and essential details needed for regulatory submission. The closed part contains highly confidential and proprietary information such as detailed manufacturing processes, raw material sourcing, and internal controls. This section is not shared with the applicant and is only reviewed by the US Food and Drug Administration. This structure ensures that intellectual property is protected while still allowing regulatory evaluation. Now let's talk about lifecycle management. A DMF is not a one-time submission. It is a living document that must be maintained throughout its life cycle. Whenever there are changes, the DMF must be updated. These updates are submitted as amendments. There are several types of amendments depending on the nature of the change. For example, 1 changes in manufacturing process or equipment, 2 updates to specifications or analytical methods, 3 addition of new manufacturing sites, 4 revisions based on regulatory feedback. Each amendment must include a clear description of the change, justification, and supporting data. Another critical component is the annual report. DMF holders are expected to submit one annual update confirming whether the information is current. Even if no changes have occurred, this must be explicitly stated. If a DMF is not updated regularly, it may be considered inactive, which can affect all applications referencing it. Communication is also essential in lifecycle management. Whenever significant changes occur, the DMF holder must notify all authorized parties who rely on the DMF. This allows them to evaluate the impact on their own regulatory submissions. Regulatory authorities may review DMFs during application assessment or inspections. Therefore, maintaining accuracy, consistency, and completeness is crucial at all times. A DMF is a confidential regulatory document that supports drug applications while protecting proprietary information. There are 5 types of DMFs, with Type 2 being the most commonly used. The open and closed parts ensure a balance between transparency and confidentiality. And lifecycle management, including updates, amendments, and annual reports, ensures continued compliance. In the end, DMFs enable collaboration across the pharmaceutical industry while safeguarding innovation and maintaining regulatory standards.
Subscribe to MedPharma Global on YouTube. Get the latest medical and pharmaceutical updates. Click the subscribe button and join our community.